Hello and welcome back to my knitting podcast. I'm Katie. I am a Boston-based yarn dyer and knitter. I've been knitting for over 20 years and I run the yarn dyeing business Claws Out Yarn Company. Hello. This is episode 13 probably. And I've got some stuff to talk about. This probably won't be a long video because a lot of things haven't had progress made on them, and that's okay. But I have actually a couple of finished objects and then just a bunch of whips to talk about and some wedding project updates, so we can dive into it. First, I want to point out my outfit today. I got this shirt from Wears by Ren at the North River Art Society Art Festival. The mermaids go all the way around, which I love, and then I went for that theme. I'm wearing my little fishy earrings, which are from, I want to say they're from Warm Clay Co. I love her earrings. These are just my little sardine fishy boys. It's hot out today, so no knitted garment. We're just doing t-shirt. Okay, first we can start with the finished objects, of which there are two, which is super exciting because I haven't actually finished anything. Well, I finished that hat that I showed you a couple videos ago, but I haven't really done anything else. So first, I have this bandana. The ends need to be woven in, obviously. Isn't she so lovely? She is blocked. I actually did my very first steam block on this baby, which I'm very proud of. I love her. So this is a little, tied around your neck like that kind of deal. This is the Summer Camp Kerchief, I believe is the pattern name. And this is motif number 2. You can do a couple of different motifs based on how many eyelet rows you want. So this one, the eyelet rows are a bit more spaced out. It's like 20 something rows in between them. You increase on the center and then that gives it the triangle shape. This, let me see who the pattern's by Ashley Adams. I really love this. This was just like a quick spontaneous cast on for a friend craft day a few weeks ago. I knit most of it in a day and then I think I finished it a day or two after that. It's fingering weight yarn and US size 4 needles. This colorway is awesome. It is Ken by Melanated Boho Bay. I've had this yarn forever. Look at how this is the rest of this. I honestly could probably make a second kerchief. Ignore my nails, but look at how pretty this colorway is. I think what really kept me going with this project, because obviously it is sock weight, so sometimes that can be a little discouraging because it just takes a long time. But what really kept me going was all the different color transitions in this. It's just so pretty. And yeah, I steam blocked her. So it grew a little bit because this is a superwash merino. But I love it. I'm sorry. Look at this perfect little kerchiefy baby. I have a vision of an outfit with this where I have a plain black t-shirt dress. But this would just add the perfect little pop of color to it. It's also obviously if I need something to cover my hair, it's so fun. So there are, like I said, there's a couple other motifs in this pattern that you can make. One has much more frequent, not much more, but more frequent eyelet rows. So there's maybe twice as many eyelet rows as this, and then the other one I think has no eyelet rows. If you're wanting to make a kerchief, I would recommend this pattern. It's got garter edging on the sides. You start with a garter tab in the middle, and then there's garter edging on the sides, and then for the final few rows you do twisted rib at the very end, on the end, and then you have a kerchief. I should really weave the ends in on this so I can wear it, but it's just so nice. Again, the yarn is Ken by Melanated Boho Bay, who is actually now dyeing at Boston Fiber Company, my local store. So Huge fan of this. I think it's just really, really beautiful. And it's delicate and flowy because it's fingering weight, so it's like very, very nice. I will definitely be styling this with, I mean, obviously this color needs like to shine on its own, so yeah, I'm just super excited about this. I finished it really fast. And it was nice because the crafting day I was doing with my friends, we were outside in one of our friends' yards, and so it was hot. So I'm glad that I was working on this because this was like small, not heavy, not like sitting on my lap, and lightweight. So yeah, highly recommend The Summer Camp Kerchief by Ashley Adams. All right, my next finished object is actually very similar. It's not blocked yet, but I did wear it all day yesterday. It will be blocked soon. It is a bandana. So this is the Romanticist bandana by, her name is Meredith, Mare Bear Makes. And I've made this pattern before, also in one of my colorways, which this is, but I can't find it. So I made another one, both to have as a bandana for the summer because that's very timely, but also as a sample for my yarn. So this is my colorway Casual, which I think the camera is not entirely picking up that it's actually a little bit, it's a green blue as opposed to like a blue. But it's Casual, which is from my 2024 Stop the Feeling collection, which is based on Chappell Roan song. So this is based on that song and the music video for it. This is a great bandana pattern. Also, this one is DK. So this yarn is on my Kitten DK base. The pattern is very nice, very straightforward. You start here at the bottom and you increase and you make these little flower motifs using yarn overs and decreases. And I think this was worked on US 5 needles. I think I might make another one of these and use size 4 needles. You're supposed to do a total of 7 repeats of the pattern. I think I did 4. So you can make this bandana much longer if you want. This is like a good size for me. I did wear it yesterday. Because it kind of comes, it comes like the back of my, like the right to the back of my head as opposed to covering all of my hair. And then you create an I-cord starting from one side, and then you attach it and work an I-cord bind off with the long end of the bandana, and then you continue working the I-cord. So what I did for that was I used my cordsmith to start at this end and do the I-cord. Then I worked the I-cord on my needles the rest of the way to do the bind off, because I know you can do the bind off with a cordsmith, but I don't know how. I was like, I can just do it faster if I do it with my needles. And then I put it back on the cordsmith for the end. So it's a great pattern. Like I said, this is the second one I've made of these. There's my yarn. Again, I could also probably make a second one of these out of the ball of yarn I used. Here's the rest of the ball. This is definitely like, still maybe like even 60% of the skein. But I'm really happy with this. Now I have a really fun like bright blue summer bandana, and again, I've already worn it, and I can have this showing off a sample of my yarn, which is so exciting. Like this, I dyed this. I made this and I dyed it, which is the best feeling ever. So I will wash and block it. I don't know about you. Like, I steam blocked this one because I wanted to steam block. Honestly, I was testing out my fabric steamer to make sure that it will be useful for my wedding, for all the bridesmaid dresses and stuff. So I steam blocked this one, also because this one was just a new to me base. But this one is my yarn. I'm gonna throw it in the washing machine. My Kitten DK base is it's 85% superwash merino and 15% nylon. It's really, really soft. I throw it in the laundry all the time. So I'm gonna do that with this one. I could steam block it, but I don't want this one to grow a lot, whereas this one really needed to grow to like lie flat and all that stuff. It really needed like a good pinning and a blocking. This one doesn't need that as much. Really the only bit about it that is not lying flat is the tail end part here. And then I guess like here where the bind off is, it curls over a little bit, but when you wear it, it's kind of flat against your head, so that's not really as relevant. So fun fact about my yarn, if it's one of my superwash bases, I do usually just throw them in the washing machine. And the dryer. Sometimes superwash yarn needs that to kind of shrink all the fibers back to where they were when you first put it in the wash. So that's probably what I'll do. I have to do laundry anyway, so we'll see how that goes. I might throw it in a garment bag though, just so that none of my other laundry stuff gets caught on the yarn overs. But yeah, so those are my 2 finished objects. I guess it's bandana season over here, which is kind of fun. Obviously I was in like a big hat thing over the winter and earlier spring, so now we are moving into bandana time. So with that, we can move on to some whips. Okay, so as you know, my wedding is coming up. It's in 17 days. Okay, shouldn't have said that out loud. I'm gonna scare myself. So I have been working on the 2 wedding projects that I'm trying to complete, that I will complete. But because I am me, I've also started some other things. Obviously, as you can see by the 2 bandanas that I just showed you, which I started on impulses and finished but those I finished within a couple days. So I have a little bit of a progress update on both of the wedding projects, but I'm going to start with the other things that I'm working on. Starting with, if you can believe it, another hat. I started this Memorial Day weekend, I think, because I was going to a Red Sox game and I wanted, Fenway Park lets you bring in knitting needles and stuff, but obviously you have to have like a really small bag. And so I was originally going to bring in Nate's tie that I'm working on, which I'll show you in a second. But I was worried because the needles on that are longer and they look a little bit more like dangerous and spiky and weapon-like. And I just didn't want to risk that getting taken away. So I think I started this hat like an hour before I left for the game. And just so I could shove it in my purse when I went with a friend, which we had a great time. We had an absolute blast. It was really, really fun. It was my friend's first time at Fenway. So this is yet another Perfect Day beanie. It's the same as like the blue one that I finished a couple videos ago and all the samples I made for my Dancing Queen collection. It's like the same thing. So you just knit, stockinette, then you join. I like to do a little purl join. And then you just knit until you get to the crown. I'm going to do 40 rows before I get to the crown. I've done 21. Yeah, so getting there. But this is like now just a very basic whatever pattern. I'm not really like trying to finish it for anything. Now it's just around. It is a good project to throw in. I think any project like this where you can just kind of do mindless stockinette is good for like a sporting event if you're going to one. I will be doing the Knit in Public Day at Fenway Park on June 13th. So I think I'm going to have something similar like this, but I'm going to use my Sweet Caroline yarn, which will be really exciting. So this colorway is Monster Mash by Rhapsody Fiber Arts, which I picked up at Boston Fiber Festival last year. It's really nice. It's on their DK base. I think the colorway that the yarn tag says that it was one of a kind. So there might not be a lot of this floating around out there, but I really love this color. It's fun. It's obviously a little Halloween-y. It's mostly purple and orange, but it's also got some like green bits in it, which I just think is really fun. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, the Perfect Day beanie or just like a pretty basic stockinette hat beanie pattern is just such a nice way to use up a skein of DK yarn. So I still have a bunch of it, as you can see, and I have probably another, like, in total, maybe another 40 rows, including, I have to knit about another 20, and then the crown will probably take a little while. Since I've made so many of these, I've been playing around with how I do the crowns and how I do the, just really all of it. I've just been playing around with it, so, yeah, just another hat. I've made so many of these now that it's kind of, it's a pretty mindless pattern for me, which is great. I don't really have to count. I don't really have to look at it. And that's great. So this was my, like, I need something to go to the Red Sox game project, and now I'm not really working on it because I'm working on other things. Although I will say that I did bring the Romanticist bandana, the blue, the casual one, to another Red Sox game like 4 days later. Because that one also fit in my purse. As long as it fits in my little Bagoo purse, then it's coming to the game with me. I'm going to talk about a test knit that I actually made a lot of progress on recently, and then we'll talk about the wedding stuff. In my last video, which was about how to prioritize and rank and finish your projects, obviously I haven't really been taking a ton of my own advice from that video because, as you can see, I've started a bunch of things when I said that I was not going to start anything other than these wedding projects. That's on you for believing me. Anyway, so I ranked my projects. I had 6 whips at the time. Obviously now I have, that number has changed a little bit. But I had 2 projects for the wedding, so those were top priority. Then I had 2 test knits, and those were the next top priority because those have deadlines. And then just my other, like, for fun projects. One of those test knits, I realized that actually the deadline for that test is a little bit before my wedding. It's June 15th is the deadline. And I was like, crap, I haven't worked on this in like a month. And also I don't have that far to go on it. I went and got my hair done on Friday. Today's Wednesday. I went on Friday. And I brought this to the appointment because I get, you can't tell because my hair is, it's not wet anymore, but I haven't like scrunched out my products. But I get highlights in my hair, and so that can take a little time because I have to sit there with the bleach on. Then she tones me, I have to sit with that on. Like I'm usually at the salon for 2 to 3 hours. So I brought this test knit to the salon, and I actually did get a lot done on it, which is awesome. And you know, like, who doesn't love to just sit at a nail salon and kind of knit mindlessly and listen to everybody's gossip? It's like one of my favorite things. Here she is. This is going to be the Grand Slam tee for Perfectly Knotted, who I love testing for Claire. If you are feeling like you want to start testing knitted patterns, Claire Jackson Perfectly Knotted is so good to test for. Her designs are really well thought out. They are size inclusive. They are great. Her patterns are super easy to read, really easy to tell where your size is. She does a lot of made to measure stuff, which is also great. So you can take your own measurements and then figure out how many rows you need to do, or if you need to add bust darts or whatever. She's great. And like the actual test groups are run by, I mean, she runs them really well. They're usually in like a Discord, and everybody's just super supportive and really wonderful, and like I love testing for her. I'm always like, I'm not testing anything, and then I'm like, oh, but Claire's releasing a new pattern and I want to make it. So this is going to be basically a baseball tee. I'm obviously still on the body. It's a little bit hard to see, but because right now it's just like a vest like this. This is my colorway. The Winner Takes It All from the Mamma Mia collection as well. So I did like, I had only done maybe 2 rows on the body before last Friday when I went to the hair salon, and I think I did maybe like 16 rows when I was there, because right now we're just knitting flat back and forth. I'm actually gonna try this on, which is a little precarious because my needles aren't like quite long enough. I'm a good enough knitter that if my stitches fall off, we can fix it. So I realized I tried this on when I got home from the hair salon, and it's actually like, we're getting there. So the way that it's gonna go is I'm gonna finish the body, then there's like a split hem. It's not a split hem, but it's like, it's curved. You know how like baseball tees have curves. So That's going to be worked in short rows back and forth, and then bound off. And then the rest of the sweater, the sleeves, and there's a little like side detail will be done in the contrast color, which is also from the Mamma Mia collection. This is my color Honey Honey, so that'll be the contrast. I only have this much left of this colorway. I'm pretty sure I can finish it all, and like I might dye up another. Actually, I can't dye up any more of it because I don't have any more DK yarn, so this has to be the rest of it. But let me show you how close I am to this actually being just about in a good position, I think, for me to start doing the hem. See, it's actually already, like, this is where my pants are. It's actually already there. So I might do enough to add one more buttonhole. Gonna add one more buttonhole, and then like I think I'll start the hem. Which is great because I know that the reason I stopped making any progress on this was because I was bored of like working back and forth flat, because I don't like working things flat. But I think, yeah, like once I'm doing the short rows and stuff, and then it's the short rows, there's like a couple rows of ribbing, and then I go right into the sleeves. So I could probably finish this pretty soon, which would be really nice. I'm really excited to wear this. I have a couple more Red Sox games already that I'm going to this summer that I would like to wear this to. So that's this. It's due by June 15th. Today is June 3rd. I can totally finish it. Now we can talk wedding projects, which I have made some progress on. Okay, the first one that I've mentioned is Nate's tie, which I need to make a lot more progress on. But here it is. It's little so far. I also don't know why this looks off. When I stretch it out, it doesn't, so it'll just have to get blocked. But here we go. Here is the tie so far. I need it to be a lot longer than this, obviously. But this is, the pattern is called the Wedding Necktie. It's $1.50 on Ravelry if you need to make a tie for someone. And I'm using, this colorway is East Coast yarn, I love. Just her fingering base in the color Water Lily, which I've actually seen a lot of other people making stuff in this color lately. It's a really great color, and Nate picked it out. He picked this out of a bunch of colors that I had that I was like, these could maybe work for your tie. He didn't want a plain color, and I had some other ones that were blue-green, but the contrast in them was like a little bit too much. So we went through some skeins, and then we came back to this one. So he's wearing a green suit. The bridesmaids are wearing blue. So I think this will be a really nice, a nice complement to those. But basically the next step in the pattern is that I have to knit this until it's 22 inches long. And then we do the decreasing and stuff for the skinny end of the tie. This is the wide end of the tie. So I'm going to see what I mean about the needles being way too long to bring to Fenway Park. Like, they're just going to think that I'm going to hurt somebody with these. So it's certainly getting there. It's growing. I brought this to the movies the other day. We saw The Sheep Detectives. Highly recommend, but not if you are feeling sad about losing someone, or if you're not good with death, and don't bring your children if they don't know what death is yet. Unless you are prepared to have that conversation and you want the sheep to help you have that talk. Okay. But I brought this there and I worked on it a little bit, but like not enough. I didn't work on it enough. So that's where this one is at. It's not really that super exciting, but I know I'm going to be able to finish it. I have to be able to finish it because if I don't, we don't really have time for Nate to find another tie. I mean, we do. Like Macy's exists and stuff, but I want to do this. It'll be really special. I'm excited to do it, so I just have to keep working on it like this and make it happen. I'm very happy and honored that he has said yes to me making his tie for the wedding. I figure, like, obviously, you know, his suit is new for the wedding, his shoes are new for the wedding and everything, but I think it's nice to have something a little special, a little personalized. So here it is. The whole thing has to be 22 inches long. This is probably, what did you say, 6 or 8 inches? So I just have to keep going for a while. That's not that exciting of an update, but that's what happens when you make a tie. There's not really, it's just gonna look like that until it gets skinnier, basically. And then the big update I have is that as you know, I'm working on a shawl for my mom, who will be walking me down the aisle. It's a lot longer than the last time you've seen it, okay? It is. I'm about halfway done, I think. Here it is. See how much longer it is? You see? You see how much longer it is? I've been bringing this, like, to my studio when I'm dyeing yarn, and, like, this is what I work on in between when things are cooking. I have really been trying to lock in and work on it. I think, yeah, I have to do 21 repeats, and I have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm on the 10th repeat, so I'm about halfway through. It's going well. I think it is getting a bit easier to do now because the project itself now has more weight to it. So it just feels easier to work the rows. Like, it's lace, obviously, so there's a lot of yarn overs, there's a lot of decreases. It's just a little bit more manageable now that, like, it's being weighed down like this. That's what's up with this. Unfortunately, I haven't memorized the pattern, which is 16 rows. So, but that's okay. See, it's much longer. I actually just ordered additional blocking mats because I have a feeling I'm gonna need this to be blocked out, like, long ways, hot dog way. So I called in reinforcements and ordered myself more blocking mats just in case I need, like, really extra length. I'm excited. I have it on my to-do list for this week that I want to get to repeat 15 because I want it done. I want it to be done and ready to be blocked by a week before the wedding. So I have about 10 days to get it to that point. That's the plan. And then I'm going to steam block the heck out of it, and it should be good. I'm excited about it. It's definitely moving faster. It definitely feels like less of a chore now, which is great. It didn't really feel like a chore before, but it was just, like, annoying when it was only like this long. So yeah, now it's certainly growing. It looks really, really beautiful. I love that lacy, like, leafy motif. And I can't wait for it to be done. So, yeah, it's happening. So those are all of my knitting updates. I also have some shop updatey news, which, like, if you've watched all my videos, you know about it, but I'm just gonna say it here too. I am running a birthday sale for Claws Out's birthday, which is tomorrow, June 4th. I don't know when this video will come out, probably on June 4th. So it's Claws Out's second birthday. I rebranded my business from Katie Knits in Boston to Claws Out Yarn Co. in 2024. And so this is my second birthday, which is really exciting. And so I'm running the Birthday Blues sale, where 6 specific blue colorways of mine from past collections will be available for order, and they will all be 22% off with the code 2BLUE. Enter that code at checkout for 22% off. It's all limited in stock colors, so I'm not going to be dyeing up yarn as I would if it was a pre-order. What I have is what will be available, but it's a good amount of yarn. I've tried to dye up a bunch of skeins primarily on my feline sock and kitten DK bases, and I'm really excited. So the colorways are Casual, which you just saw in my bandana. Then there's Bad Luck from the Noah Kahan collection that I did in 2025. 2025? Yes. Then I have Atlantic, which is from my 2023 Out to Sea collection. Then there is High Priestess from the 2024 Saturn Return collection. La Bella Luna from the 2025 That's Amore collection. And then finally there is 04852, which is also from the Out to Sea collection. So those 6 colorways are available from now through June 11th, which is next Thursday. So the sale runs for a week. And then after that, after I've shipped out all those orders, if any come through, please buy my yarn. I really love all these colors and I feel very excited about them. After I ship out all the orders, my shop will be on vacation mode through the rest of June because I have to go get married and I can't. I'm just not gonna have my shop open because why? Why would I? I'm not gonna be able to ship out any orders or anything while I'm getting married. So yeah, that's my exciting shop news, and that's all I got. So you can find all my links below. Yeah, have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching.